One of the things he is great at is in the big games, he always plays well. It's not just the big games, I think it's every game. He's a pretty dependable guy. He's very consistent, always does his job, and it really helps the team when you have a guy like that.
Carter's my son's best friend, and so I've known Carter well since probably he was 12, and they played sports together, and he's been at our house a lot, and he's just a super kid. Carter has been diagnosed with a syrinx, and that's a cyst-like structure in his spinal column, not in his spinal cord, but outside of it, that's filled with spinal fluid. And it's up at the base of his neck, and that's why when they grow or they get stressed, that's why you get tingling down your arms, and it's a very rare, and what I've come to know is it's a very rare and a very serious disorder, and I'm glad Carter got to see the doctors that knew about it and could guide him in figuring out what he can and can't do. Carter actually had 3 doctors that I referred him to up in Seattle. The first being Dr. Jens Chapman, who's a longtime family friend. He was a good friend of my father's. My dad actually taught him. He was the interim chief of orthopedics, and he headed the spine surgery service at the University of Washington. And I called him, and he agreed to see Carter. Carter's dad then sent up all the films, and after looking at them, Dr. Chapman got 2 other specialists involved. One was Dr. Stan Herring, and he is spearheading the Heads Up program through the NFL about concussions, but he's an expert in head and neck injuries, and he also is on a service for the neurological aspect of it, because it's not just his spine, it actually involves the neurology. My initial reaction was, oh no, Carter's hurt. But Carter had gotten a lot of stingers before. John played Panthers football with him, and in fact he didn't play most of the season because he was getting stingers. And he'd also gotten one earlier. He got one in JV, and then he'd gotten one earlier in the season. So I wasn't surprised that it was something else, because those are kind of telltale signs, but I was devastated for Carter because he loves football and he loves playing on the team, and I was upset for John because they were good buddies.
The last play in the Christopher game, it was a pretty normal play. I ran through the middle and the guy hit my head snapped back, and both my arms went numb.
I've known Carter since probably Little League Baseball. I think we started becoming friends in 6th grade. Came to my house. He's a great athlete, but I think one of the things that sets him apart from everyone else was his leadership. You know, he steps on the field, it's just like, there's something else about it, you know? Just, there's a certain, personality with him that really makes him a great leader. I'd say he leads by example. You know, he's a pretty young guy, still just a junior. And, people look up to him, but he doesn't have to say it, he just kind of goes in there and plays.
During basketball practice in November, I was having a little neck pain, and I went up to the doctor in Redwood City, and we got to talking about just sports in general, what's wrong with my neck, just to reassure me. And at the end, I asked if I could kick, and he said, yeah, there's no problem with kicking. So I went to Coach Anderson and immediately asked if I could join the team, and he said, yeah, and I came right on. Getting to play in the shoe game this year was awesome, because growing up, I think I've gone to every single shoe game, and that was just my dream to play in one. And even though it was just one kickoff, it was pretty cool to get on the field during a shoe game. To be honest, after the first doctor told me my sophomore year after I got injured that I was never ever going to play football again, never suit up or anything, I never thought I was, but I had this feeling deep down that I was. And Mr. Boric even said right before the season, I have a feeling you're going to come back somehow. And sure enough, I did.